Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tristan Tamez.
And I'm April Bourgeon. NMSU is loosening its COVID restrictions.
Since January 22nd, NMSU has required students and employees to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and its variants. New employees were further required to provide proof of vaccination before being hired. But today, these restrictions have ended. In a memo to the NMSU community, Chancellor Dan Arvizu outlined several other key changes, including ending the isolation requirements for COVID-positive students living in residence halls, as well as ending the online report requirement, and another change for the university.
Even though it's sunny now, the weather is expected to get bad tomorrow, so both the NMSU main campus and the Doña Ana Community College in Las Cruces will be delayed tomorrow. Offices won't open and classes won't start until 10 a.m.
Azure is next with a first look at weather.
Thank you, guys. It's going to get pretty crazy out there, but today we enjoyed sunny skies with a temperature of 67. Our winds were blowing in southwest at 14 miles per hour. Our humidity 9, dew point 5, and our barometer reading 29.59. Today our high was 67 with a low of 36, averaging at 65. In 2008, we had a record high temperature of 80, and in 1971, a record low temperature of 19. Today it did not rain, so our yearly rainfall sits at 0.51 inches. Join me later for a look at our national forecast.
A Deming man is now behind bars for allegedly beating his brother to death. On Monday, Luna County Sheriff's Office got a call about a welfare check on Edward Brown. According to deputies, Rogelio Baeza Jr. and Brown were drinking when they got into an argument. Baeza then hit his brother on the head with a blunt force object. The Office of Medical Investigator pronounced Brown dead on the scene. Baeza is being charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. A resident of La Luz, New Mexico, who is accused of sexual assault of a minor is awaiting trial. Tularosa Public School Counselor Darren Wade Powell was arrested by the New Mexico Police Department after being contacted by Tularosa PD. Powell was taken into custody and booked into the Otero County Detention Center. He is now awaiting transportation to Virginia, where he has a felony warrant. The New Mexico Senate is working to block a nuclear waste storage project. The bill would require permission from state leaders for any nuclear waste storage site. It would also require the federal government to have a permanent storage solution before creating a temporary storage site. Critics argue that the bill risks making New Mexico the resting place for the waste and could put communities throughout the state at risk. The bill will now be heading to the House Judiciary Committee.
Two of New Mexico's national parks are the most at risk in the U.S. from nearby oil and gas drilling, according to a recent study. Carlsbad Caverns National Park and Chaco Culture National Historical Park in the northwest San Juan Basin are both in New Mexico's most active oil and gas regions. The study, published on February 1st by the Coalition to Protect America's National Parks, reported that nearby fossil fuel extraction could impact air and water quality around both parks. Las Cruces is losing a Bed Bath & Beyond store this year as the company downsizes. After sales dropped 25% in 2022, the company announced the closure of 150 store locations, along with the cut in 20% of its workforce. The Las Cruces location on Loman Avenue is among one of the 150 locations closing to address the company's poor financial status. April will be the store's last month in operation. NMSU wants all the students here to have some culture, so the Department of Languages and Linguistics is trying to get younger students involved. Recently, they held the 7th Annual Language and Culture Day. The event covered languages and cultures in German, Spanish, French, Japanese, and Portuguese. The department directed the event to middle school and high school students.
Annual Languages and Cultures Day, and that's when we invite the community, the high schools and the middle schools, to come and we showcase the cultures related to the languages that we teach in our department.
The department hopes this will encourage new students to take courses and majors in language or linguistics. Stay tuned. Azure will be back with your national weather forecast, and later, Victor will have the scoop on sports.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22.
Where news matters.
Azure is next with the national weather forecast.
Taking a look at the next map of the night is our rain and snow forecast for the next 48 hours. We're seeing snow towards the west and 1 to 3 inches of rain towards the north, towards the east. And moving on to the next map of the night is the temperatures for the nation. We're seeing warmer weather towards the south and colder weather in the west. We have 47 degrees in Seattle, and in Florida, 85 degrees. Moving on to the last map of the night is a satellite view of the clouds. We see a little bit of a storm front coming in towards Texas. And join me later for a look at your local temperatures. Welcome back. Let's take a look at those local temperatures. In Farmington, we have the temperature of 42, Roswell 74, Ruidoso 53, and Deming 65. For tomorrow, Farmington 45 degrees, Santa Fe 39 degrees, Socorro 46, and Deming for tomorrow 43 degrees. Tonight in Alamogordo, we're looking at some rain, 42 degrees, and tomorrow a high of 46. In Truth or Consequences, a low of 32 tonight, raining as well, and a high of 48 tomorrow. Moving on, Silver City tonight, still raining, 26 degrees, and tomorrow a high of 36. Las Cruces tonight, just a cloudy 36 degrees, and a high tomorrow of 49. Back to the desk. Thank you.
Thanks, Azure. The spring semester is well underway here on the NMSU campus, but it's always time to make new friends. John Loomis is a residential assistant at one of the student dorms. He holds what he calls Leg Day with Loomis at the Student Activity Center, so students can work out and meet one another.
It's hard to find ways to meet your neighbors, meet your peers, so I kind of figured I'd go with something that, one, I want to do anyway, but also something that is easy to get people to do, is put their physical wellness first.
And Victor Fierro is next with sports.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, the Aggies cheer team won the USA Collegiate Championships. Don't go too far because News 22 Sports is next.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time to kick it with Vic. The NM State Aggie Cheer Squad lands in the top 2 at a competition in California. The Aggie cheerleading team claimed 2 first and a second-place finish at the 2023 USA Collegiate Championships in Anaheim. The Aggies placed first after posting a score of 91, another first place in the intermediate competition with an average score of 90, and finishing second following a 91 score in the advanced round. The Aggies will compete again from April 5th through the 9th in Daytona Beach, Florida in the NCAA College Nationals. The Aggies are looking to really step it up to the plate after a tough start to the season. The defending WAC champions dropped their 7th consecutive game last night against Benedictine Mesa with a 9-3 score. In this losing skid, the Aggies have allowed an average of 7.8 runs per game with a total of 55 runs scored and are batting a 177 average as a team. New Mexico State did end the 2022 regular season at 24-34, but ended up winning the WAC tournament. The Aggies look to repeat last season's achievement again starting on Friday when they take on Pacific at Presley Askew Field. The Aggies look to finish off the regular season on a strong note. NM State women's basketball is coming off a tough 62-47 loss to Stephen F. Austin last night. Both the Aggies and Lumberjacks struggled to get going in the first half, scoring a combined 33 points. The second half was a different story. SFA caught fire and outscored the Aggies 47-29 to take the 62-47 win over New Mexico State. The Aggies will end the regular season tomorrow against Sam Houston in Huntsville, Texas at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. You can catch the action on ESPN+. Coach Jordan and the Aggies are adding a new player to their roster for the 2023 volleyball season. Sophomore setter Aspen Aldis was added to the roster for next season. Aldis is transferring from the University of Dayton, where she played in all of the Coyotes matches. She led the team in assists per set at 10.69, while leading them to a 15-7 record and a 12-3 league mark. She was named to the All-ACCAC second team last season. Aldis now looks to start a new chapter with the Aggies when the volleyball season starts later this year. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Azure will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast.
Let's take a look at our top stories. Bed Bath & Beyond is downsizing. The company is closing its stores in both Las Cruces and El Paso. Now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast.
For the week, we're looking at cloudy skies. On Thursday, we see rain. It's going to be a high of 49 and a low of 28. Friday, we have all sunny skies with a high of 65 and a low of 34. Saturday is mostly sunny with a high of 69 and a low of 41. Sunday, we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 72 and a low of 47. Monday, we continue on with those partly cloudy skies, a high of 74 and a low of 46. That is all I have for you today. Back to the desk for more news.
And that's all for News 22 Thursday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Tune in tomorrow night for more news. I'm Tristan Tamez.
And I'm April Bourgeon, and from the whole News 22 team, Tristan, Azure, Victor, and myself, good night.
This news brief in Español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Karen Sánchez. Gracias por estar con nosotros en Noticias 22. La Policía Estatal de Nuevo México sigue investigando un homicidio que se tomó a cabo en Deming, Nuevo México. El lunes 27 de febrero, un hombre identificado como Rogelio Baeza, de 36 años de edad, fue arrestado por quitarle la vida a su hermano en Deming. Esto después de una llamada al 911 solicitando el control de un individuo en una residencia en la calle Hermanas Great Road. Cuando los agentes ingresaron a la vivienda, ubicaron a Edward Brown, de 39 años de edad, fallecido por traumatismo contundente. Los agentes dieron a conocer que Baeza y Brown eran hermanos. Los dos habían estado bebiendo la noche del 27 de febrero cuando ocurrió una discusión entre los dos, que llegó a los golpes y a la posterior muerte de Brown. Este último fue declarado muerto en la escena por la Oficina de la Investigación Médico. Baeza fue llevado a la cárcel del condado de Luna y acusado de manipulación de pruebas y asesinato de primer grado. La Policía Estatal de Nuevo México arrestó a un fugitivo buscando en el estado de Virginia. El sujeto de 52 años ha sido identificado como Darren Wade Powell de La Luz, Nuevo México. Powell tenía una orden de arresto por delito grave por penetración sexual criminal hacia una menor ocurrida en Virginia. El arrestado ocurrió tras una investigación llevada a cabo desde el 23 de febrero por el Departamento de Policía de Tula Rosa y la Unidad de Detención de Fugitivos de la Policía Estatal de Nuevo México. Esto después de que la Policía Estatal tuviera motivos para creer que Powell, que era un consejero escolar de Tula Rosa, tenía una orden de arresto por delito grave en Virginia. Luego que se confirmaran las sospechas, la Policía Estatal confrontó a Powell en su residencia. El sospechoso fue después ingresado en el centro de detención del condado de Otero y está en espera de la extradición a Virginia. Eso ha sido todo por nuestra parte. Síganos en nuestras redes sociales. Que tengan buenas noches.